Now that we've had a little primer on what are those good fats and those bad fats, I think that we recognize that we're always going to have those foods in our diets. It really just comes down to how much of them we have and how often we choose to have those foods. There's nothing wrong with eating some cholesterol. As I said before, our body is going to recognize it and it's going to use it appropriately. It's simply when we have too much saturated fat and maybe even too much cholesterol in our diet that we're going to overdo it and produce too much. And so in this case, we probably need to make some decisions about what we're choosing, or maybe it is that we just need to choose how much of those foods that we are eating. Maybe it's not just in the food choices, but in the portions that we're choosing to eat them in. As Americans, we tend to be fascinated with the things that we can put together and put on a stick and deep fry. Every year around fair time, there's always a contest between who can come up with the craziest thing that gets fried. In the last couple of years, there have been innovative things like fried butter, which I don't really understand how you would want to fry butter and eat it, but it's just amazing that we would actually seek out these kinds of deep fried, extra super fatty things just to sort of explore them and taste them as a cultural phenomenon. Really interesting. Sometimes we start to seek these things out and we can look for what the dietitians would call food porn. So look at these turtle burgers. These are actually a burger that have a hot dog that's all been wrapped in bacon and turned into a turtle. Very interesting. Or how about this? A Midwest contest started this. It's a meat cake. So many layers of pastrami and eggs and stuff. The person who can eat this whole thing actually wins a contest. I don't really know if they're a winner or not from this contest. When we look at a healthy meal, a person will automatically think that that means you're going to be resigned to eating lettuce and vegetables for the rest of your life. So does that mean that a healthy diet means no more hamburgers, no more French fries for the rest of your life? That's not really what we're talking about. What a healthy diet really means is that we do get a well-balanced diet, going back to those basics of having a protein and a starch and vegetables. If half of your plate is vegetables, that's great. Make sure that you get your protein, but you get your protein in the right portions, and that you make sure that you have a lot of flavor on your plate, but looking for the right portions. That's really critical. There's nothing wrong with having a hamburger, but what about trying something a little bit different? Maybe instead of the French fries, you try grilled vegetables or something grilled, not fried. Just saying. Maybe we try something a little different. Or what about trying some of the new breads that are thinner, or try a different type of topping on it instead of loading it with mayonnaise and cheese? What about trying something like a fresh salsa or another crunchy salad, cucumber salad, or something interesting like that that adds a lot of flavor without adding a lot of fat? Ultimately, the goal of any time you make a diet change is finding something that you can live with, finding something that you can add to your day-to-day, that you can live with, that you can do for the rest of your life. Because changing your diet isn't about changing it for a day or a week. It's about making changes that you can live with forever, because this should be your forever new way of eating, not just your temporary, just doing it for now while I try and lower my cholesterol. Because your cholesterol issue, if it's high now, you might change it, but it'll come right back if you go back to your old habits. So let's cover a couple of more topics. Here's a couple of videos that are going to talk about eating out and some other changes that people have made to affect their cholesterol levels.